Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks, Lulo. Thanks, JC. Yeah, man. And pretty much appreciate everyone who sent well wishes. I had to do the video. I'm not one to like get on the internet and cry, but it's just what some of you guys were asking, so I went with it. So, anyways, let's get into the AFC NFC Championship. I'm looking forward to it. I was kind of surprised. I got to tell you something. So let me go make sure what I'm saying is still relevant. Okay. Well, Bet365 has Detroit at 7.5. FanDuel has Detroit at 7.5, and then the rest of the books seem to have it at 7 even. So it seems to be shaded to 7.5. I don't know if that's a trick. I don't know if they're setting a trap, but I absolutely like that. And as for the Chiefs Ravens line, I woke up today and pretty much every book had it at 4. Now we're seeing it get back down to 3.5. Man, I gotta tell you, man, I think the Ravens are gonna kick their ass, and that's where I'm at. And I appreciate everyone in the comment section. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate it. I'm gonna make sure I go through that video and individually respond to everyone. Yeah, man, I I have not seen the Lamar Black Hole edits. And what's up, City Boy Reggie? What's up, Chunky Keys? Yeah, man. A little bit later than normal. I was running a little bit late. What's up, Sticks? What's up, Brian Webb? What's up, Mike Stacks? Yeah, Mike. It's just I don't want to be a degen because I did say earlier in the week that once we get to this point, AFC NFC championship, let's be honest, when we only have 2 games, when we only have 4 games on the table, I feel like they're all 50-50 splits. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'll give you an example. Last week with the 49ers, I did not think that was a 50-50 split with the points. Like, I thought we had a real advantage on that one. So, but then again, like, I actually feel like we got a real advantage on the Ravens. I've just been mulling over all week if we want to bet it. And like, listen, and also, no one take the upset videos all that seriously. I was framing it in who would you rather put your money on? Who's the better upset pick? I want Lions. I think 49ers win the fucking game. I don't think it's going to be easy. And thank you, Isaac. I appreciate it, man. And thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Noah. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, man. And it's just it's I'm looking at these games, and I got a lot of pushback on the Ravens, Pat. So I do want to get someone on here to walk me through why they think the Chiefs are going to win. And here's like my big take with the Chiefs. At a certain point, don't you have to pay the piper? Doesn't there have to be a toll paid if you drive the full country on the fucking throughway? At a certain point, don't you have to pay a little bit? And what I'm talking about them paying for is I feel like this roster has been degraded. And okay, defense line, they got Chris Jones, and that's all well and good. Their secondary is really good and underrated, a bunch of no names, but we know they can ball. It's just I'm looking at this receiving position. I'm looking at Joe Tooney being out at guard, maybe their highest paid offensive lineman. Someone can fact check me on that. And I'm just looking at this team, and it feels like they're limping in, even though they did beat the Bills. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm not trying to change the scenario because they won the game on the road. And in the NFL, that's not fucking easy in the playoffs. We know that. But, man, am I the only one who felt like the Bills kind of choked that away? I mean, I'm not even referring to the punt, the fake punt with DeMar Hamlin. I'm not even referring to that. I'm an aggressive guy. If a coach gets aggressive, I'm with it. And I actually think the numbers worked out in their favor. I think they had 8 blockers to the Chiefs 6, and they just didn't get the job done because they're not physical. But I didn't like the way the Bills ended that game. And then, like, the last two drives, Allen just keeps trying to push it down the fucking field. I'm seeing I'm seeing Stephon Diggs run 10, 15-yard crosses across the middle, open all day. Yeah, he's trying to force it long. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Chiefs, um, because that's not fair. Because we know winning in this league on the road against another good team is a big accomplishment. But I don't know, man. And I don't feel like Diggs has been involved enough like the last year and a half, 2 years. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Yeah, no, and Gio, you're right. He missed a wide open shot in the end zone. And then he's forcing balls to people who were doubled when Diggs was single covered. You remember a lot of the Chiefs team was saying, listen, they probably expect we're going to double Diggs, which is the rational thing you would do, right? Like, I wouldn't double him every play. Like, I don't think Diggs at the level of like Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson. But with that being said, I would expect to see a lot of double teams on fucking Stephon Diggs. And the Chiefs said we didn't double him the whole game. And that's what they went with. And it worked. And they didn't get him involved enough. Zamora, Lawson, can we address the Super Bowl logo and team colors? Is the NFL scripted? It's just hard not to say it isn't with it being accurate the last 2 years. I did see Aaron Rodgers talking about that about a month and a half ago. I'm not into that. Like, I'm not into that. Do you think it's true? I mean, if we start seeing baloney for Mahomes, we know Mahomes is always going to get calls. But if we start seeing straight out baloney, then I'm with you on it. But what are the colors? Is it purple and red this year? So do we think like it's going to be tilted towards the Ravens? Like, I didn't follow that too much. I worry about officiating in every big game when these games are close. So we haven't seen anything too egregious yet in the playoffs, but knock on wood. Well, I have found a new way to lose at football with Leicester last Monday. Bastards led until 89th minute. I thought I had two-way betting, but it was three-way. I had Leicester to win anyways, and yeah, got smoked on it. They dominate the whole fucking game. They dominate 98% of the game. Then you get a little cheap shot at the end. Yeah, that one was hard to take. They did dominate. I mean, penalty calling will be key in both of these games. And I'm not worried about the officials in the Lions-Chiefs game. I'm not worried about that. Neither of those teams gets a lot of calls. Neither of those teams makes a lot of mistakes that lead to penalties. But I am worried about the officiating in the Chiefs-Ravens. I'm not going to lie about it. The Ravens are a team, man, like, I got to tell you something. Like, the Ravens are a team, I feel like they get away with a lot of holds on the offensive line. I'll just say that. I'll say that. And maybe that's because Lamar Jackson is so elusive, and that's why maybe it looks like holding on the TV screen. And we all know that the old tribe, you can call holding on every single play. We get it. Not trying to say anything, but also I'm worried about how they're going to officiate Mahomes. I'm really worried about that. And guys, I don't know if this Chiefs receiving core is going to be able to get too much separation. And that includes Travis Kelce. And unless I miss some sort of injuries, this Ravens linebacking core might be the most aggressive, most athletic in the league. Safety core is nice. Is Kyle Hamilton going to play? Because he was on the injured reserve. We thought he'd get activated. Like, I think they match up good with Kelce. When you got two fucking fast linebackers, you got a damn good safety, you got a damn good nickel. I feel like the Ravens match up really well with the Chiefs. So when there's no separation given, are we going to start seeing ticky-tacks, illegal contact? The old illegal contact, you're at 2nd and 19, illegal contact, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down. Those are the worst. And are we going to see those? That's what I'm asking about. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Lauren. Jarrett Hart, John, one of the refs in the Chiefs Ravens game is known for calling a lot of penalties on the home team. Prepare for some shady shit. Hope your wife gets soon, by the way, brother. Thank you, Jarrett. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm curious what it's gonna see, what we're gonna see. Like I said, knock on wood, because I don't want to see these games decided by the officials. And also, like, am I the only one who was wondering why did that Chiefs spread get up to +4? I mean, does that really change anything in the grand scheme of things? Because either way, like we saw earlier in the week at Chiefs +3, and I get that. I got the +3.5. I did not get the +4. I either think this is going to be an extremely close game, a close field goal game, or the Ravens blow their ass out. And I would not count out the Ravens blowing them out. And I got to ask you guys a question. So this last, like, okay, let's look at like the Chiefs season since the Raiders game. You remember they were down like 14-0 to the Raiders. I think it was in the first half, and then they came back and won the game by double digits. So everyone's saying like the Chiefs started peaking at that time. I don't think we've seen them play all that great. Like the best game they played was against the Bills on Sunday, which obviously you want to be playing your best football now, but I'm not sure like they're peaking. I'm not sure they've gotten a lot better than they were. And I honestly feel like if Pat Mahomes wasn't here, this would be a below average team, a really below average team. Yeah, and Dave, that's one thing. I don't know if that Dave says the officials for the AFC game never worked together during the regular season. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. I'm pointing towards bad thing. Because our because listen, it's not an easy job. We all know that. Like these guys are slow, unathletic, and the guys on the field are huge and extremely fast. Like it's a hard job, and I would rather have the best crew and bring them to the big games. I feel like that's a better way to judge them than evaluating individual officials. I'm not sure I like that. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it, Steve. Yeah, that 2020 game was wild. Okay, so let me read this comment. Jared says, John, you should check out the injury reports. Seems like they're favoring Niners and Lions. I did look at it today. Let's see if we get the official one. Okay. Okay, they're favoring Niners and Lions. Okay, let's see. Let's look at these injury reports. So I use ESPN for this. This is one of the few things I use them for. Is Debo going to play? I mean, that's the big question. That's been the $1 million question. Other than that, like 49ers seem extremely healthy going into this game. I don't think there's anything I'm missing there. It's just if Debo Samuel's going to play. Um, yeah, with the Lions, no surprise here. No surprise here. I'm a little bit concerned Brock Wright's going to be out because we know Sam Laporta, like, listen, he's going to play, and I'm not worried about that. But we know there's only so much he can do. And also, we know the Lions like to go with a lot of two tight end sets. That's one injury for the Lions that's concerning for me. Khalif Raymond is a little bit concerning, and Jonah Jackson's out. But the Jonah Jackson one, let me try to ease everyone's concerns. Jonah Jackson's a really fucking good guard in this league, firstly. But for most of the year, especially the first 13 weeks of the year, the Lions had at least 2 or 3 starting O linemen out every single game, and they were still able to move the ball. They were still able to run the ball. So I'm not all that concerned as long as the 4 other starters are in there, as long as Ragnow, as long as Penei Sewell is out there, I'm good. And I think that's the big matchup, Bosa versus Penei Sewell. I think that's the best defensive end in the league. I'm not disrespecting Watt. I'm not disrespecting Myles Garrett. But outside of those two, Bosa probably has to be the best defensive end. He certainly didn't have his best year, but I'd put him up in that elite category. And then you got the best right tackle in the league. And I'm curious to see. And I got to tell you guys something. Now, let's backtrack. Think about when the 49ers bye week. 49ers traded for Chase Young, and we already know the 49ers defensive line is stacked and it's got depth. So we got the Niners -3 at the Jags for a college fund pick. And we saw that defensive line win the game single handedly. Like, we didn't even need Debo to go off. We didn't even need Purdy to go off. All we needed was the defensive line to just completely destroy the game. But let me throw this out at you guys. Am I the only one who kind of thinks that this 49ers defensive line hasn't destroyed like we thought they would? I know they did a very good job against the Eagles. I just haven't been all that impressed. Like, I thought it would be elite. I thought it might be up there with the best defensive lines I've ever seen, maybe the most balanced defensive line I've ever seen. I think this Lions offensive line can stay with them. And yes, if you had to rate Packers O line versus the 49ers defensive line, yes, 49ers did win that battle, but Jordan Love had an awful lot of time on a lot of plays, and I felt like that Packers O-line hung with them. And that's a big concern for me because that Packers offensive line, yes, to get better around like the week 12 mark, but they've been vulnerable all year. And that was like a big thing I was excited about with San Fran. I thought that 49ers defensive line would just completely destroy every single play from the Packers. So, yeah, I want to get everyone's opinion on that. Lawson, how do you feel now that Debo is off the injury report? Is he? So they're going to play him. A lot of the injury experts, and what's up, Day and Brun? A lot of the experts were saying he was going to play because like there's no structural damage in the shoulder, and it's a different injury than he had earlier in the year. I think he's going to be limited, man, and I don't think that changes the spread for me. I looked at the ESPN one right now. He's still on it. I didn't get the final one that San Fran releases at the end of the day Friday, so someone inform me. And thanks, Tackman. Thanks, Tackman. I appreciate it. Tackman, I can't blame you for going Ravens -4. I can't blame you. Yeah, Jared, Ravens are looking pretty healthy. Not like I got to check on the Ravens. Like, I want to see if we're going to maybe get a little bit of Kyle Hamilton. And I'm not saying he's going to play a lot, but we saw how big a difference Laporta has made these last two games, just playing 10, 15 plays. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so we're looking at Marlon Humphrey. I heard he was going to play. I don't think they're too concerned about that. Rocky Sin. I mean, what is he like their fourth corner in their rotation? Yeah, Ravens are looking pretty good going into this game. Like, no big concerns. And let's look at the Chiefs because I'm concerned about this Chiefs linebacking core. I've been talking about it the whole week. Okay, no Derek Nottie. That's listen, he's not a great defense tackle, but he's definitely someone who's good at stuff in the run. I think this Willie Gay injury is big, and he's with a neck injury, and I don't think he's going to play. And I think he needs to play because for me, he's the Chiefs' best linebacker, and he's their most athletic linebacker. And at a certain point, when you play Lamar Jackson, you need to have a dog at linebacker. You need to at least have one of them. And if Willie Gay's out, we get a lot of Tranquil, and then we get guys coming up from the practice squad. A little bit worried about that. And like I said, Joe Thuney out. It looks like Pacheco's going to play. Kadarius Toney, you would prefer him to be in there, but I don't know if that's going to tilt anything. Debo is playing. Okay, thank you, guys. Yeah, this line secondary has been playing pretty good, man. I'm also a little bit worried about Purdy's accuracy. Maybe it's me coping for the 49ers pick last week. But did anyone else think Purdy missed 4 or 5 pretty easy throws that could have changed the landscape of that game? Yeah, sticks. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you got Hargrave, you got Eric Armstead, you got Bosa, you got Chase Young. You also have other dogs off the bench who are very good. I don't know. I had really high expectations for this. Like I had expectations like the Minnesota Wall when they had Ray Edwards, Jared Allen almost set the sack record. They had Kevin Williams, Pat Williams on the inside eating up any run game. Like I got excited. I thought we are going to see something really special. I thought we could see something really special. It just hasn't transpired, man. Okay, I'm here in Maryland. Rain forecast game 44 degrees. Rain's got to favor the Ravens, right? If it's not like even if it's like sprinkling a little bit, I don't think it makes a damn bit of difference. If that wind gets up, when I checked it, Dave, earlier in the week, I saw the wind was at like let's say like 13, 15 mile per hour. I don't think that's enough to affect it. And I do agree the Packers max protect, but then that opens up another can of worms because the Packers were able to throw it. And then if they're max protecting, they only got like fucking 2 or 3 guys in a row. What does that say about the secondary? Like I felt like this was the best 49ers secondary. Like you know the Shanahan era, the last 4 years. Let's just use the last 5 years. Felt like this is the best secondary they had going into a year. And I haven't seen anything that changed my mind. Okay, Debo is official. Thank you, DeAndre. Thank you, DeAndre. Brian Webb, I'm putting all my money on the Lions. Are you going money line? Are you that 7.5 is calling out to us like a dope fiend. It really is. I did find that funny that it got up to 7.5. And at the very worst, like if the Lions play like shit, I know they're not going to give up, and I know garbage points could be in play. So that makes that 7.5 extra scrumptious. JC, this is a big, and thank you for the super chat, Tack Man. Thank you. I appreciate it, my guy. Hey, John, do you think Mark Andrews be a factor this week? Yeah, this is one thing I was wondering. Okay, if Mark Andrews is back, that's a big fucking deal. And I know Isaiah Likely's played really well, but this is one thing I keep wondering. Like, is Mark Andrews going to come out there like a decoy? And from like Rappaport and Schefter, they keep saying like Andrews is going to be more of a decoy. But 2 weeks ago, they also said the same thing about Laporta against the Rams. And we saw Laporta catch that touchdown. Like, man, that's almost like $1 million question. Cause I honestly, like I said, like I know like linebackers in this league, yes, they're responsible for a lot of covering, but I just feel like the Chiefs could be overloaded in that middle unless they confuse Lamar Jackson. So I think that would be big. Can we start a poll here? Or do you have to be on the regular YouTube one? I want to start a poll. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I gotta say, the Ravens crowd's never got much hype. Like everyone knows, Baltimore is a working class city, has passionate fans, but that might have been the most raucous playoff atmosphere I've seen in Baltimore Ravens history. It was absolutely raucous. And the Lions atmosphere, those games in Detroit was absolutely ridiculous. It was crazy, man. Yeah, no, I agree. Like matchup wise, I don't think there's a team better in this league than the 49ers if we just take out a piece of paper and go player by player. And if we go like Kittle, Ayuk, Jennings, Debo, like I get it. Like this team is absolutely stacked. But there has to be a guy to be able to throw him the football. And I do wonder, and you bring up in your comment, you bring up Branch, who's been absolutely phenomenal in the slot for Detroit this year. Like we even saw it week 1 when he had that pick 6. You do wonder, like, he needs to be on Debo because I think he's the only one who can cover Debo. Like Ayuk, you have to live with Ayuk beating you. That's kind of what you have to do. And I am excited that CJ Gardner Johnson is back. Now, let's make sure. Let me just make sure about that because man, CJ Gardner Johnson, the first 3 or 4 games he played this year, he was absolutely phenomenal for Detroit at safety. Um, yeah, looks like he's gonna play, man. Looks like he's gonna play. So, and the thing with Kittle, and I got to tell you something that frustrates me. He might be the best tight end we've seen in this league since like Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez. I don't think I'm saying anything out of line. Like honestly, if you gave me a choice between Kittle and Kelsey, I would probably lean towards Kittle. I don't want to disrespect Travis Kelsey by any means, but sometimes like we just see Kittle not be used and just be a non-factor in the games. And I think a lot of that is the 49ers quarterback situation the last like 3-4 years. Yeah, I agree. I agree Andrews could be a decoy. Yeah, well, this is what's so interesting. I'm curious to see the script. You guys remember that stat we talked about a few weeks back? Like Shanahan is like 0 for 50 when losing going into the second half or fourth quarter. I was shocked by that. So so this is what's interesting about the Lions matchup and 49ers matchup. You have Johnson, who's absolutely phenomenal at calling plays, one of the best scripted teams in the league, and their first 15, 20 offensive plays. And then the same thing for Shanahan. Has a Shanahan offense ever had a year where they started slow in games? I don't think so. So that's what makes it so interesting. I do like the under in the Lions 49ers game. I don't want to dabble in the under for the first half, but I do like that under if it was like, I think it was like 51. Rough trends are big, man. Rough trends are big. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Kittle blocks. And I don't know, and my guy, like, I don't know if we've seen even close to the best Kittle can do. Like I don't think we've seen anything yet, to be honest. Uh, yeah, I do think Kittle's a little bit underrated because could you imagine if he was in Mahomes' offense, uh, working across the middle with Mahomes throwing him the ball? Like I don't know, man. And everyone's like, "Oh, Kelsey's more explosive. Kelsey's more athletic." I don't know. I don't know. Kelsey's really fucking fast. Don't get me wrong. Like we've seen him line up in the backfield and look like a running back before, but man, it's just I don't think we've seen anything out of Kittle yet. Like I don't think we've seen close to his best ball, and that's scary. Yeah, I'm. Well, I do think Juice will be utilized on play action, and I feel like Lions, like I feel like this Lions 49ers game comes down to can the Lions stop the run? Because if the Lions can't stop the run, then the 49ers are going to get play action, and that's what you guys are saying. There's just too many weapons. Lions have been pretty damn good at stopping the run all year. I don't know what the stats say, but when they need to get a stop, they seem to get stopped. And when I say stopping the 49ers run game, I'm not saying like hold them to 50 or 40 yards. I'm just saying contain them and don't let them completely dominate you. And at a certain point, if I feel like if Purdy, if you don't let him get to play action, feel like he's comes back down to average. Like if he's got that running game, if he's slinging it with play action, he's very fucking good. Very good. Um Jalen, Lions haven't played a good team all year, to be honest. I get what you're saying. I would just substitute good for elite. I mean, they played the Ravens, but Ravens blew out every single good team. Like Ravens blew out like the Dolphins. They blew out the Niners, blew out the Lions. I mean, who else was on the list of Ravens casualties this year? I don't know, man. Because everyone was picking the Rams money line uh, in the wild card round, and everyone the Rams were looking pretty good going into this. Like I didn't fall for that bait, but then again, the Lions didn't cover the spread that game. I'm tr- I'm trying to think because I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. Let me look at the schedule because I usually have a pretty good memory of this stuff. So let me just refresh my memory. Okay, let's see. Oh, they played the Cowboys. They lost by a point, and they kind of got jobbed out of that game. I mean, everyone thought the Cowboys were elite all year. Um, they did get jobbed out of that game. Yeah, and they played the Seahawks. They beat the Chiefs. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but you can only play who's matched up in front of you. And I do think that Buccaneers game. I don't think that Buccaneers game was easy by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, no, I'm not, Jalen. I'm not talking about the ranking. Like, I find the run defense rankings hogwash. Like, listen, like if a team's like 32 out of 32, I mean, we can roll with it. But I do find the old school rushing rankings hogwash most of the time because there's so many variants in the game. Um, yeah, man. I if you're down by 20 points, you know, and your defense, and you've got Mahomes as your quarterback, and your defense who's up by 20 points the whole game, how much is your run defense going to be tested? I prefer eye test with it. Miami is not elite, Lauren. We'll see, man. We'll see. I was a little bit shocked they got rid of Vic Fangio. What did everyone think of these head coaching hires? Um, and and I asked a question you guys on Instagram because this is one thing that's been spiraling off the top of my head. Um, are we going to see the hoodie not get a job this window? The Harbaugh to the Chargers one I got, but I always felt like the hoodie to the Chargers was a slam dunk. I I understand Raheem Morris to the Falcons. I don't know why they interviewed Bill Belichick 2 times. I think that's some of Rich McKay's involvement. Um, Panthers got the guy they could get. I am curious where Ben Johnson is going, the Lions offensive coordinator. He turned down the Panthers job last year. I am wondering, like, is there a possible Tomlin leaving the Steelers situation coming up? Is Vrabel going to be the odd man out? Who's going to get the Seattle job? Lots of questions, very few answers. Uh, the Titans are just going to suck. And I'm not hating on Callahan, but I never liked those situations when they hire an offensive guy and he never called the plays. Now, let me be fair. Vikings hired Kevin O'Connell from the Rams. He never called plays. And look at how good he's been as a coach. So I get the rationale. I didn't like that from the Titans' perspective. Didn't like it. Jared, I did think the Canales was funny. Although I did feel like he did a pretty good job with the Bucks offense this year. But then again, I don't think the media understands just how awesome, how good an offense looks when it has two elite receivers like Godwin and Mike Evans. So I think the media is still kind of like stuck in like the 80s, early 90s, where they think receiver isn't all that important a position, kind of like Bill Belichick, where he thought he could win without receivers for Brady and just throw out slow white guys out there and still win. Like, I feel like that's kind of like where the media is at. I don't think they've understood the value of wide receivers, even though the contracts are obviously showing the value. Yeah, Dan Quinn makes sense. He wasn't a bad coach the first time around, but he had some awful good help as offensive coordinators. I don't know if I would be plunging my feet into him. Thank you, Pringle. Thank you, Pringle. I appreciate it, my guy. Appreciate it, my guy. Yeah, no, Jared, he made Baker look pretty good the second half of the season. He made you got to give the guy credit. And my whole point, Jared, if you had options, would you go to take that Panthers job? I wouldn't. Okay, let's read this. Teams to beat Josh Allen in the playoffs are 0-4 straight up in their next game. 2022 Cincy, 2021 KC, 2020 KC, 2019 Houston. Interesting. The Bills certainly gave the Chiefs a war. Yeah, man, I want a live bet, and like that's been one of the things that's bothered me this whole postseason, because I want to go live at least for the Saturday games, and I want to go live on Sunday. It's just I'm gonna try to go live on Sunday. I just have to see what's going on. Because I do like the live betting, and yes, let's pray for Michael Mann, because yeah, man, he's just not gonna, with Tepper there, that Panthers organization that is not going to turn around. Yeah, okay, here we go. Let's just Lauren, if you want to come on, I'll send you an invite. I'll just respond to Patreon questions individually. I think I got some. Let me see what we got. This is from Crew 60. My bad, Crew 60. Hey, John, not wanting to make an emotional wager this weekend, but Ravens -4 is my main go-to. I am off the Lions train. I think even taking the points is a negative play. Thoughts? Does anyone have any input on props? It seems I'm doing better on them than taking a money line pick on either team. I do have some props ideas that I'll be posting on Patreon. Am I going to be betting them? No. I got a lot of soccer action this week, and I will be having one NFL bet. So props, I'll post them, and I'll let you guys do what you want with them. Yeah, for the Lions, it's a tough matchup with the 49ers, but it is also a lot of points. And like I said, I was a little bit concerned with some of the stuff we've seen out of Purdy last week. I felt like he missed a lot of open guys. And I feel like the Lions could be able to run the ball against the 49ers. Now, obviously, the 49ers defense will be a lot more prepared for the run game. But I don't think this is a game where like Goff rolls up in the ball and chokes. And I know it's not in a dome. I know they're not playing at Ford Field, but I think Goff can at least be proficient here. And I think with the 7.5, even Lions can tag this in garbage time. But I do see what you're saying with Ravens -4. I might even suggest something. I'm not big into this, but hear me out. I kind of feel like, listen, you never want to count Mahomes and the Chiefs out. We just can't do that. We're in this era when you have an elite quarterback, you could put practice squad guys with them, and they still have a puncher's chance. So we have to remember that going into the game. But I would not be shocked, and I would not smug my nose if someone went Ravens alternative line, like maybe a Ravens -6.5, a Ravens -10. And I'm not calling the shot that the Ravens blow them out, but I think it's highly possible. And like I was saying on the video yesterday, the upset video, I feel like I would if I had to make a comparison for the Ravens, I'd feel like they're like an Oxycontin 80, or like one of those crazy powerful Molly pills. They come at you in waves, and that's why they were able to blow all these teams out. Miami looked pretty good in the first half against them. I mean, Miami was winning a lot of that first half and moving the ball up and down the field. 49ers looked very competitive in the first half against the Ravens. And let's remember, the Ravens were on the fucking road that game. And we just see this Ravens team completely outlast people. We see D'Amico Ryans put on an absolute masterclass of the game plan in that first half. Listen, it was good game plan. I'm not talking offensively. That Ravens defense stepped up in that first half. But we saw a perfect game plan from D'Amico Ryans in that first half. And all the pressure is on the Ravens. Texans playing with house money. And then we see the Ravens come out and just completely play their best football in the second half. And that's the worrisome thing when you look at the Chiefs, and why I'm with you, crew. I'm with you, man, because I just don't think the Chiefs can outlast the Ravens. I think the Chiefs can keep it close for 3 quarters, but I think eventually this Ravens run game, Lamar Jackson, the more explosive options of the Ravens will wear them down. And I also want to make something really clear. I get it when you have Mahomes, like any offense can be explosive, but I just feel like the Ravens have a lot more explosive players on both sides of the ball. Does that mean you're going to win a game? Does that mean you're going to get those chunk plays that tilt the landscape of the game? No, but it certainly helps. So I do kind of like that play. Big Al, do you think Ayuk can get 100 yards if Debo plays? Go Lions. And thank you, Big Al. I do. I don't know how big a factor Debo's going to be in this game. And I do like Ayuk's matchup in this game. Isn't he going to be up against Cam Sutton? Cam Sutton always plays on Ayuk's side, right? Because I'm trying to remember where Cam Sutton plays. He always plays on the right side. Ayuk lines up on the right side. I like that matchup. And let me just write something. Let me just write something real quick. Patreon. At minute mark. Okay, here we go. What's up, Pound? What's up, Dicko? I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Dicko. Cad Fire, any advice on when and if to hedge? Cad, I hate hedging, but I get why you guys do it. So let me go through your scenario. I am holding Super Bowl futures tickets on KC and Detroit. Detroit is 10x pay value of the KC. Makes sense. Does anyone know a good hedging calculator that can help with the decision? The likely matchup is San Fran, Baltimore, which is why I asked going into these games. Wow. Let me look on the internet for you because I actually came across that before. Thank you, Lawton Hargrove. Thank you, John McQuain. Lino, what's up, Lino? Yeah, I appreciate it, Lino. Derek, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. What's up, Matt? Okay. Let me see if I missed any questions. Then we'll get Lauren on. David Kerr in 3 games last. Let's get this money. Yeah, 3 games, man. I got to tell you guys something. This time of the year in the NFL, it does get a little bit melancholy. It does. Like, I like our full slate. Like, I like week 6 I like week 2 when we have 16 games to choose from. That's what I like. I do love the playoffs. Always like the playoffs, but there's nothing like the regular season, man, especially because we like to gamble. I absolutely love it. I feel like we can always find an edge when we got like a 12-team slate, a 14-team slate. Matthew McRae, what's up, Lawson? Hope's all good with your wife. Married men have to stick together, brother. And Debo is playing. What's up, Matt? Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate everyone's wishes. Donald Trump says there is no hedge yet. I kind of agree. Because I don't know, man. Why not let it roll? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, why not let it roll? Like, if you had, I don't know when you put in the future bet. I don't know when Cad Fire put in the future bet. But let's say, like, you pick Detroit like week 4 or week 2 or like even week 10. Why not let that roll? It is the fucking NFL. We did see the Packers blow out the Cowboys in Jerry World. It's the NFL, man. Anything can happen. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate it, JJ. I appreciate it. Yeah, go Niners. Yeah, man. I think the Niners win. I just think they're going to have to sweat for this one. I do think they're going to have to sweat for this. And maybe, let me ask Niners fans something. Do you think the bye week made you guys come out a little bit rusty last week? Like, do you think maybe like Purdy was out of rhythm and maybe the bye week played a factor? Because he didn't play week 18, correct? Oh, yeah, we saw Sam Darnold. Great. I do remember that. Okay. I do think the NFL wants like a Niners Chiefs or Niners Ravens. I do. Um, I'm not sure they're in the business of fixing games. I mean, but like I said, we've seen it with the NBA. It's well documented. FBI files, like it's been documented with the NBA. So or fixing it so it goes to a game 7. That's all been documented. NFL hasn't got caught their hand in the cookie jar yet. Ron, have a great day at work, man. Have a great day at work. Hope you have a good one, man. Okay, yeah, because the rain hurt Purdy. Okay, I can accept that. I can accept that. And I'm not sure if the Ravens, if I can blame that Ravens first half on rust. I just think the Texans had a really good game plan going into it. That's where I'm at. And thank you, Campbell. I appreciate it, Campbell. Let's see if Lauren wants to come in. I don't know what she's doing, but I think we covered everything. And on Patreon, I'll make sure I post some prop bet ideas. And I got to tell you guys, am I crazy for liking this under in the Lions 49ers game? I know no one likes going unders, but for some reason, I really like this over under, even though like the fundamentals aren't good because both teams have good offenses. But I also think both teams have fairly competitive defenses. And I'm not letting like 1 week of Jordan Love tell me like this 49ers defense can't play. Like I'm not going there. Okay, so okay, you got it at 51.5. The over first half, I like. Because we've even seen it with the Lions-Rams game. Like I had under in the Rams full game. I maybe get a little bit lucky to get that? Probably. But we did see it. Like both teams have great scripted offenses. They always start fast. And some teams in this league don't start fast. Like, for instance, the team in this league that hasn't started fast this year is the Chiefs. They used to be a team on their first 10, 15 offensive plays. They'd whip work and they'd establish their dominance. We just haven't seen it from them this year. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. What's up, Mike? The Canales era. Mike, if you want to come on, you might be busy though, but if you want to come on, Lauren, I sent an invite to you. Yeah, man. Okay, here we go. And yeah, at least the Chiefs do start. Sounds good. Well, Jalen, what are you getting on the Goff over a 0.5 interception for that prop bet? I am curious about that. A Drew against the spread. I like that name for some reason. Do you think Lamar and the turnover problems will show up? Fumbles and picks. It was a fucking problem the first 6 weeks of the year. It really was. Like I remember week 1 against the Texans. I think I saw him fumble it like fucking 3 fucking times. Um, I don't think so because I think they're going to run it a ton. But I'll tell you one thing. I worry more about him fumbling it than I do throwing an interception. I mean, their pass game has been pretty dynamic, and it's really simple, the stuff they do. And that's where I'm at. So I worry more about the fumbles, but I also don't know if the Chiefs can keep him in the pocket. And I don't know if they, and like, I will get Lauren on right now and get Mike on, but I don't know, guys. Is there anyone on that defense line who's good or a dog besides Chris Jones? And I'm not even like talking about like a star or a dog. I'm just talking about someone who's pretty damn good, can help with the rush. Yeah. Yeah, it was JJ. I kind of agree. It was a good wake up call for the Niners. Lauren, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Yeah. What did you think of these head coaching hires? Just to start with that.
So the Harborough thing, like, I have kind of mixed feelings about that with his whole issue that's got, I'm sure you're not living under a rock there.
Oh
Um,
yeah, he is kind of a spurg. Like I do think he has like some form of autism. But
I
anyways,
mean, everywhere he goes, he wins though. Like he literally has taken any college team, when he was with the 49ers, he's taken every team from almost dog shit to what they were previously to a winning season, if not the title game.
got
So, I mean, he's a hell of a coach. Um, the whole scandal thing going on right now, whatever, who's not in the scandal. But, you
yeah. I
know,
never really cared about that, but I get why people got mad about that.
I personally think he's going to do a great job because the only thing that the Chargers have been missing is literally coaching, a head coach. You don't lose that many games by one score without poor coaching.
Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted your
But
opinion on the Harbaugh one. I'm excited
that
about it. So,
one, yeah. And then let's see who else. Vrabel got a job yet? I haven't even
no,
seen.
that's
So
what's been
he doesn't have
weird
a
about
job.
all.
And then the hoodie didn't get the job in Atlanta. Weird. Um, which I'm fine with keeping him the hell out of our division. Um, personally, I'm actually curious to see if obviously we're stuck with Dennis Allen, but for God's sakes, Drew, can you just come be our coach? Come back to New Orleans and be our coach?
That well, I felt like they would try something like that. Because like there's been teams who have been rumored, like for instance, they say one team that still has a coach is interested in Belichick. So like you could look at, and there's rumors that like Tomlin might leave during this offseason. So there's a lot of stuff
Tomlin's
going around.
great. Tomlin's great. There's
I know.
an elite category for Tomlin, Shanahan, Harborough. There's a very select few that you could put in that. Belichick, there's just there's not really any one of them coaching Dallas. Dallas wins everything this year.
Well, that's the interesting part. Anyways, let's get to the games because,
Any
like,
of them.
yeah, that's the interesting part. Like, there's been really
McCarthy's
no word.
terrible. He's
Yeah,
horrible.
we were saying that when he was still with
Horrible.
the Packers. So
Yeah. Why do you
he's
think they
got
got rid
good
of him?
he's got good luck and timing.
He's
Maybe
had good
not like
luck with, yeah, he's had really good luck being with really good teams at the right time. And because of how terrible he is, he can't finish the job.
And I kind of agree with the Steve guy in the chat. I would not be surprised if um, the Bills try to make a run at Belichick. Uh, but anyways, yeah, what did you think of Canales?
I mean, I expected worse. If
I
that's the
didn't hate it. I don't hate it actually. Like we had Jarrett Hart on here saying, "Oh, average offensive coordinator." I don't know. I listen. I do know
well,
like they have two damn good receivers, so that makes things look a lot better. But I did like the offense better this year for the Bucks than last year. So I don't know. I'm not hating it.
no, yeah, I don't hate it either.
I'm
And
just surprised it's
I,
interdivision.
huh?
I was just surprised the interdivision.
Yeah, and you should be. I mean, I think you were probably the happiest. Oh, did we lose Lawson? Did we just lose
Oh
Lawson?
shit. Yeah, maybe.
Are we
I
live
think
by
so.
ourselves?
What were you saying? Yeah. Oh,
No.
I had to do this a few weeks ago. We're back to the
Okay.
Lauren show. Welcome everybody back to the Lauren show.
All right. Let's see how long we can hold this
Once
down.
I'm here.
again.
I'm here. I'm here, Mike. I
Oh,
can speak
maybe
on
it
my.
was short lived.
Oh.
Might have been short lived.
oh I'm just kidding. Hey, what's up, Lawson?
What's up? What's up, man? Good morning.
But
Good
no,
night.
Lawson, we lost you.
Lauren, I think
There he
you
is.
you should be thrilled about the coaching hires that took place yesterday because we screwed the Bucks over. The Panthers didn't get a great head coach, and the Falcons head coach isn't good. So, like, Saints were the big winners from yesterday, the way I see it. So you're welcome.
Yeah, and we made no moves. But yeah, we still have Dennis Allen.
But that is true. Yeah, you are stuck with Dennis Allen, but he gets 8-9 wins. That might be good enough.
No.
But
I mean,
no,
I'm going
Anyways,
to
I
start
do,
what you did. I'm going to start what you did when you were rallying to get your coach fired. I'm going to start rallying for Drew to come and be our coach.
dude. That was an effort, man. Getting Frank Reich fired, seriously, most underrated fan achievement of the year that we pulled that off. We literally had a boycott going to games. Like that was an actual thing. You can find Panthers community pages visibly protesting like we're not going to this game because this guy is still our head coach. So, but
anyway,
no,
so
something
let's go on. Go
I
ahead.
will say
So,
like
yeah, let's get some game talk going for sure.
well, one last thing. Like, I think if you're the Panthers or Falcons and you got either of these guys, like, okay, good for you. They're solid options. But you have to be disappointed that you didn't get a Ben Johnson, a Bobby Slowick, a Bill Belichick, a Mike Vrabel. Like, it just felt like there are better options on the table here.
Bro,
And
this is really good news for the Texans and
yeah,
Lions not losing either of those guys.
no,
I
not
don't
yet.
understand how Rabel hasn't gotten a job yet. Like,
Yeah.
he should have been the first one off the market, in my opinion. I
I
know
mean,
not everyone looks.
I understand why the Panthers didn't hire a defensive coach, but man, I would not have minded Mike Vrabel at all. Like, I would have been ecstatic with that move.
That's what I'm wondering.
I,
Like, that's why
I'll take him.
that's why I asked you guys because I was like, okay, this coaching cycle surprised me quite a bit. Like, usually I kind of know what's going to happen, and then when I saw the hoodie took the second interview with Atlanta, I was like, okay, this is going to go left. I don't know what's going to happen.
I thought for sure he was going there, and then me and Mike were going to have no chance in hell ever again.
Yep, that would have been it for us.
I'm fine. I'm fine with him staying the hell out of there.
Well, and I also do think I do want to respond to Techman's comment in the chat. Like I actually do think that's a problem, like Bill Belichick's associates, because I feel like he got way too comfortable in New England. He didn't want to bring in any new blood around there. And then also, we don't know if he's demanding the GM title again. And honestly, I don't know if I'd give him the job if I had to make him GM. Maybe if I was the Chargers and the roster was already ready to go. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't think we need to see Bill Belichick as a GM again.
No, I agree. I'm with you. And honestly, how many years does Bill have
And is
left in him?
everybody?
Yeah, I know.
Well, he's what, 72 or 71?
Yeah.
Are we all forgetting too that what's his nuts over there in Alabama retired? Nick
Yeah, Nick
Saban.
Saban.
Yeah,
So
which
is
surprised the
is
heck out of me.
everybody really? Yeah. Are we disregarding that because
I,
do we not think we might not see him somewhere?
I think Saban knew the dynasty was over and just called it a day.
Yeah, and anyways, like the NIL, like I wouldn't want to coach college football, so but
Um,
that's up
okay,
to them.
but before we start talking about these games, are you two gonna eat crow for some of the picks y'all had last week? I got
Yeah,
absolutely crucified.
what do I want to say about what can I eat crow about with the 49ers?
I told you. I told you. Oh, okay, yeah, we need to address the 49ers game. 49ers would have won and covered that game had it not been raining. Like, we did not anticipate that.
Yeah, I don't even know if I blame the rain. They just didn't play good.
No, I mean, look,
They
I don't think
and you know what? That's a problem. They didn't even play that good, and they still won, right? So they're going to fix their whole. They're going to beat the shit out of Detroit.
listen, here's something else, too. Like, Purdy, I'm not going to get off the Brock Purdy train. I don't even think Purdy's all that good. But I'm not going to say he's this terrible quarterback
I'm
now
not.
because he had
Yeah,
storm.
yeah, no.
Yeah, because I see people now
No
treating
team
him
is
like,
as good or as bad as their last game.
what?
No team is as good or as bad as their last game. And
Yeah,
listen,
exactly.
for them to played as quote unquote poorly as they did and still pull off the win, that should be very scary for Detroit. That should be absolutely very, very scary for Detroit.
Yeah, and listen, I think for the Lions to win this game, or shoot, even compete in this game, I think Goff is going to have to play a lot better than Brock Purdy. He's going to have to win that duel without question. And if he does, I think the Lions got a shot. But if Purdy comes in playing sharp and the 49ers get the run game going, Aaron Glenn's defense is going to have a tough day.
It's not even the run game that's going to be. Listen, they're going to have to beat Detroit through the air just like everybody else has all year.
Yep.
So you're going to have to beat Detroit through the air. And they've got plenty of weapons. They've got, you know, here's the one thing that everyone's forgetting though. Like, so they're like, okay, golf outdoors, blah 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 blah. This is that golf on the road. Is this really a road game for golf? Like, as much as everyone thinks this, golf. Everyone's forgetting golf went to Cal, literally down the street from Levi. So
And how
this
many
isn't
years
as much shit. 8, I don't know.
he played in LA, what, 4 or 5 years? He's used to playing in this kind of environment. It's not like he's going to Carolina when it's 20 degrees.
Oh boy, I remember
Mm-mm.
that blowout last year.
I do too. That was a great day.
Anyways, yeah. So who are you? Are you picking Detroit to win and cover?
No, I'm being listen, and I hope I'm wrong because I want Detroit to win. Um, I have 49ers to win and cover. But I really like if I'm wrong and y'all want to make fun of me for it, go right ahead. Because I am rooting my ass off for Detroit.
Me too. But
Yeah.
I would not mind seeing the 49ers in the Super Bowl. I like both teams. So
I'm not a 49ers fan. But Lauren, what do you
I'm
what do
I'm
you
on the 49ers. I'm on the 49ers. I think you got to remember too, they were literally in practically had like 2 weeks off, right? So week 18, they didn't play anybody. Um, then they had the bye. So just like anything, they're going to be off. You know what I mean? I think, and listen, as poorly as they played and still won, they're going to fix their issues. So Detroit really like they're going to get their ass beat through the air is the way it's going to happen. So do I think that the 7.5 is a little outlandish? Yeah, kind of. But I can definitely see why it's there. They lost, or they didn't even play good, and they're still a favorite by that much for a reason.
Detroit
I'm
covered pretty good
I'm also
against the Rams defense.
I'm
But
also not
I get it. But the home field advantage did help Detroit a lot. So I get what
yeah.
she's saying.
I'm
Yeah.
not either. I'm not convinced either that the Lions are going to be able to stop Christian McCaffrey. Like anyone that's picking Detroit, that's kind of they're assuming like that's a given. Like the Lions are going to be able to stop Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, like I think that's more important than the pass game. But I mean, we can go either way with it because obviously 49ers have tons of weapons at wide receiver and tight end. I just think with the 49ers, if you I'm not even saying I need the 49ers to stop the run. They just need to be competitive against the run. Some teams aren't competitive against the run when they play the 49ers. And we saw the Packers actually be able to do it.
Well, the other thing I think needs to
Yeah.
happen, Aiden Hutchinson needs to have a huge game in order for the Lions to win, or at least compete on the defensive side of the ball. Because Purdy, the way to beat Purdy, and this is true for every quarterback, but Purdy notoriously struggles when he's pressured. You can look these numbers up. He has 6 touchdowns under pressure. He has 11 interceptions. So pretty much all his picks are coming under pressure. Um, Aiden Hutchinson needs to be lined up over whoever. I don't even know who the other tackle is, but whoever Trent Williams, he cannot be lined up over Trent Williams. You need to get Hutchinson. You need to get Hutchinson isolated and make sure he's getting pressure on Purdy at every turn. Because
Yeah,
if Purdy is down, if he's not getting pressured, if he's comfortable in that pocket, I think it's gonna be a lot harder for them to stop the passing game.
normally he lines up on the other side, and I agree. Like Detroit's, they've been able to get pressure the whole year, and like you said, like they need Hutchinson to be good. Detroit's been good blitzing this year. We'll see if they're able to blitz. Like that's a big question of mine. I honestly don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
Lauren,
see.
step in, Lauren.
I listen. I've said since week, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. This is really San Fran's year. I am so happy for Detroit. I think for the first time and God knows how long, they've got a team to be proud of. Kudos to Jared Goff. Screw the Rams for what they did to him, sending him to the team that went, what, 1-15 or whatever that year. Um, so I'm thrilled for Jared Goff, and I'm thrilled that he's on a winning team and has the team that he's got now. And they've got a good team and they've got a great future. They really do. But I think that maybe their time has come.
Okay, let's get to the other game because this one I'm interested in. We got Ravens -3.5, -4 on some books against the Chiefs. I'll let you guys.
I have
Start.
Ravens to win and cover. I feel
Me
more
too.
confident. But listen, you can never feel comfortable betting against Patrick Mahomes when he's a 3.5 point underdog.
No,
I think everyone here knows
it's
that.
4. It's 4 now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it's 4 now.
depends on the book. It's been fluctuating, so
Yeah. Lawson, you've said all year, or well, really for the last like 2 years, the Chiefs at some point are going to pay a price for trading away Tyreek Hill, and I think that finally comes this week. Um, Listen, the Ravens are probably the best man team in the league and play it almost as much as anybody. And the Chiefs this year, for what they are much better at getting open against zone than they are against man. And this is especially true for guys like Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice. Travis Kelce in particular, you look at his yards of separation per route ran, numbers go way down against man compared to previous years. So I think you're going to see a very low scoring game. I would not be surprised if both teams are held under 20. But I have
wow.
Ravens to win and cover. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you can't feel comfortable betting against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he played a dang near perfect game last week.
All right, go on, Lauren. Are you getting a delay,
So,
Lauren?
yeah, I think Michael's frozen or
No,
something. No, maybe not. You're frozen now. Am I frozen?
No, but we're good. It's good on my side. But yeah, go on, Lauren.
Okay, wait, let me put my earbud back in because let me try to. Okay, so here's my take on all of this, right? On this game. Let's be honest. So the Ravens have literally been on third string everybody at one point in time all year. And I said this in the chat earlier. Since week 1, okay? Since last season with Dobbins and this season with, like, they've been, and their defense, people remember, I even said their players are falling down like the Berlin Wall. So they have been down their number one starters all freaking year. And they have beat up on everybody. Playoff winning teams, good teams. They had a tough schedule this year. They had a really tough schedule.
They set
compared to everybody else.
The Ravens set an NFL record this year with the most wins on teams over 500. I think they won like 9 or 10 games, but it's something that's never been done before. So, and they've only added to it.
Yeah, and it was definitely teams that are playoff contenders. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why is this not working?
Something else.
Right, well, we're gonna have to forget about that.
Lauren,
but yeah, it's so I don't really see how you're gonna beat this team. I just don't. I just don't. I know that the Chiefs looked good last week, but let's be honest, the Bills had the ball for like 36 minutes.
Bro, I thought the Bills
still found a way to
more
lose.
than the Chiefs won it. I'm not making excuses.
I don't know. They just did. I can't hear for some reason.
Yeah.
What is going on here? There.
Yeah, and Bills caught off breaks in that game too. I mean, I know we've said that pretty much every time they've played the Chiefs, but they really did get screwed on some of those calls.
Yeah, it's really sad in Buffalo. Like, the whole Buffalo thing is just so sad. It really is. That team
everyone makes fun of Dallas for being owned by the 49ers the last couple of years. Well, why aren't more people talking about the Bills being owned by the Chiefs?
Yeah, they've been owned for a while. They've been owned for a while.
The team, they have owned them in the playoffs. And listen, I'm a Bills supporter. I feel bad for those fans that have had to sit there and watch their lose 4 straight Super Bowls. That have had to sit there and watch their teams lose these heartbreaker year after year with a championship.
Okay, so just give me your
8 weeks ago.
We're going to get Campbell on.
I can't hear for some reason. Oh, what is going on?
Like
8 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago, the Bills were like not even part of the playoff picture.
Yeah, they had a heck of a run.
Yeah.
See, okay, here's the thing. I am not picking the Ravens because I think Lamar Jackson is better than Patrick Mahomes. The only reason I'm not betting this game is because I am scared of Patrick Mahomes. That being said, I think if you take quarterbacks out, the Ravens are a far superior team. And that's why I'm picking them to win the cover.
And you're picking Ravens to cover, Lauren, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm with the 3.5.
I don't like it, but I am.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No, I don't know that anyone that likes it.
Let's get Campbell.
I mean, you'd have to be. It's scary.
Oh my gosh! Hey guys.
What's up, Campbell?
Oh,
what's up, Mike?
Oh.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi.
Hey, I have a question for you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been so long. Do you remember last year, Lauren, when I said when I had the Chiefs to win? I was right. I was right about the Chiefs beating the Bengals last year. Do you remember that, guys?
Yes, we remember.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So I
It
have a
was
question
funny.
for
It
Mike.
made it fucking funny when they won, but also like the refereeing
Well,
was.
and you know what? You know what was really awesome about that? You predicted Joe Burrow to throw, I think, 3 interceptions. And it
Actually, I said I had him 2 throw interceptions. Lauren, are you upset about that? Are you like?
I'm trying to fix
Lauren,
my volume. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Oh,
Okay,
Lauren,
good.
it's all good, Lauren. It's
Yeah.
all
she's
good.
leaving the stream because she is still pissed off about that game.
I totally agree. Mike, can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
What do you think about the Panthers hire this Timmy Bucks offensive coordinator for your team?
I mean, at this point, like, I'm just happy Tepper didn't do something stupid. That's all
Right.
I have to say.
When I saw the hire, I felt like, okay, that's gonna help Bryce Young. And Frank Wright, he was terrible. He was on the hot seat.
Yeah, Frank Reich might be. I mean, he might be the worst coach I've ever seen in the NFL. Like, I don't even want to talk.
I agree. And here's my question about the Cowboys. What do the Cowboys need in the draft?
I don't
Bro, I don't even know. Let's stay focused on this game.
Can
Who
they
do you
draft a
have,
coach?
Ravens or Chiefs?
Here's my pick. I got the Chiefs to win, but Ravens to cover. Okay. Can I talk about this
How?
right now?
That's impossible.
The Chiefs, the Ravens are gonna be a tough team to beat. Do you think Baltimore's a tough place to play, Lawson?
Yeah, but not during the regular season. Now
That's
it is.
true.
But okay,
here's-
so here's the situation. Let me lay out the situation for you.
Okay.
So the Ravens are favorites in the game.
Right.
So the Ravens are giving points to the Chiefs. The Chiefs are plus 3.5. So if the Chiefs win, to cover the spread for the Chiefs, you just need the Chiefs to lose by like a field goal and you still win. So you're picking the Chiefs as an upset. That's bold.
Okay,
Yeah, I
well,
do.
that's
And
not
I
gonna
got
work.
the Detroit Lions to upset the Niners. I want Chiefs
hope
Lions
you're right.
to be in the Super Bowl.
Chaos.
Yes. Lauren, how are you? How you feel? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing fine. I don't know what happened. My earbuds,
Guys,
I don't know. I
it's
can't.
been so-
I have no volume. So I'm
guys,
just trying to
Lauren, it's all
listen.
good. We're gonna wrap it up soon anyway. So I just
Dude.
want to say hello to Campbell and say what's up.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I appreciate his pick and look forward to hearing what he has to say. And I'm sure we're all going to
Lawson?
be talking about the Super Bowl. Are you going live Sunday, Lawson?
I'm trying to. So I'll let you
when
guys
I get-
know. I want
Yeah.
Are you?
say that again. I'm trying to. Like I think I will be able to. So
Lawson, if you go live, can I join you on Ravens Chiefs?
probably not. No, I gotta be honest. I love you to death, Campbell. But
Hey, are you thinking about going live on Detroit and San Fran game on Sunday?
I'm thinking about going live for both of them.
Okay,
so.
I'm thinking
For
about
both
doing
of
that
them?
too.
Yeah, for both of them.
I'm thinking
Oh,
about
I can't
going-
wait for this.
That's gonna be a
Hey,
long.
Campbell.
Hey.
Campbell, are you still watching it? So how are you watching these games? Are you only watching highlights on ESPN, or are you?
Here's the thing: when I watch the games on TV, like it's on live. Oh, do you guys have Peacock on you guys' TV? You guys have Peacock?
No.
Mike,
No.
do you? No, I do.
can't- First,
How
can
do
we
you
talk
guys feel about
about
the
NFL for
Packers
putting that
beating the
Peacock?
Cowboys? How you guys feel about that?
Say that again.
How you guys feel about the Packers upset the Cowboys like 2 weeks ago? I picked the.
I was thrilled.
Yeah, I was thrilled.
That was hilarious.
When I was watching that game, I'm like, what is Prescott doing? And I said, Prescott, you are not doing so well. You threw too many picks, and I think you're done in Dallas. You think Prescott's done in Dallas, or do you think he's got 1 year left?
No, he has like a $50 million cap hit. I mean, hate him or not, he's stuck there. The Cowboys cannot move him.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I want to tell you before I go a couple of things
We're gonna go
I'm going to
soon.
point out. Last week, Baker's number was 250 yards. We were on that. We had it on Patreon. He went for 350 on the Lions. They lost still, right? But he went for 350 on the Lions. I see no problem with Purdy going over to whatever it is, 50 or whatever, 240, whatever the line is.
Like 240, 242.
Is 240. Okay. Really though, my favorite though is for Purdy to have more than 30 and a half pass attempts.
Really? Huh?
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know, man. I've seen when Kyle Shanahan starts running the ball, it's hard to get him to stop.
But
Okay.
if Detroit can play good against it, like it makes sense, and then they're going to throw it a ton. It makes sense to me. It's just for 30 and a half, it has to be a close game, right, Mike? Like it has to be close.
And I'm not convinced it will be.
Okay, do you guys want to hear my score prediction for Sunday?
No, let's hear some more props, Campbell.
So, what are props? Tell me, what are props, Lawson? What are props?
So what Lauren was just saying, for instance, the bookie will set a line like Brock Purdy against the Lions over or under 245 and a half passing yards. Just an example. And then you can bet over or under. And normally you bet like 50, you receive like 48 back for these. Sometimes it's different.
By the way,
so everyone has success throwing against the Lions. There's no reason why Purdy won't. Okay. Weather won't be a factor. You know, they barely ran against Green Bay when you can run on Green Bay. They were throwing on them.
The Packers came so close to upset the Niners, right? They came close. Right? They came close to upset.
Okay, yeah, let's stick to the props.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got
derailing.
Go ahead, Lauren. Do you mind reading off the prop bets while I got them up?
Yeah.
I can't hear. What did you guys say? I'm sorry. I got background noise and.
Oh, it's all good. Anyways, like let's ask her a question and we'll end it after she answers.
Do you mind reading off some of the prop bets so we can talk about them?
Yeah, for sure. So let's do it. Another one that I like is Rashee Rice under 6.5 receptions.
Oh yeah, give me that all day.
Yeah, getting 7 versus Baltimore just seems crazy, ridiculous. They're going to have to really come up and script something a little bit different. They're going to have to be creative. They're going to have to use people like Valdez-Scantling. I like Valdez-Scantling over 14.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, if a Chiefs player goes off in this game, it's going to be like a random guy who you've never played before, like you've never heard of before.
And not just that, like Valdez-Scantling could literally get to this number, 14.5 receiving yards. They're going to have to spread the ball around. You know, another thing that we've learned about these playoff games is that they're very kicker dependent now. They come down to the wire. So I could see Butker over 1.5 field goals. It just means he needs 2. I mean, 1 in each half. You know, you're going to get plus.
Michael Mann?
Oh, I think so.
Did we lose him, Lawson?
No, I'm here. I think he's back in.
I don't know.
Can I ask you a question, guys? If Andy Reid retires, do you think Belichick will go to the Chiefs and the Chiefs can hire him?
Yeah, I did hear Reid would. We're trying to stay focused on this week. We're Bill Belichick. Like we're just worried about Sunday. But I do think. And Campbell, any last words, Campbell?
Yeah, but what are injuries for the Chiefs? Who's playing Sunday? What injuries for the Chiefs?
I want to talk about that. What's Isaiah Pacheco's over/under rushing yards?
Yeah, I do want to know that.
Because I think Joe Thuney being out is a significant loss for that team.
Huge. Best lineman they have.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, listen, here's my other thing. I liked Butker over 1.5. I also like the Gus Bus. How is it only 44.5 yards? This could be a Gus Bus game. You know? So I think 44.5 is a little disrespectful to him. So I like him over 44.5. I like some others. I'll have to put them in Patreon once I go through my sheet. But I'll be honest with you. The Ravens have allowed 6 rushing touchdowns all year. 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't really feel this is a Pacheco touchdown prop. People are going to be jumping all over that just because they've been dependent on him. I mean, it obviously could happen. It could easily happen, but the Ravens don't allow rushing touchdowns. They just don't. And one of the 6 was actually technically he caught it. So I'm not on that. So they don't really allow rushing touchdowns. So I see where Patrick Mahomes will pass a lot, and that could also be something too. Like Mahomes could go over his passing attempts. The run D for Baltimore is just so good. And Mahomes could use his running backs as pass catchers. Now Lamar's rushing, I'm a little indifferent about that. I know we saw him go for 100 last week. The Chiefs surrendered 73 last week to the Bills. I don't see how Lamar couldn't get to 64.5. He averages 74 against the Chiefs. Here's another thing.
Lamar?
Yeah.
I actually really like your Gus Edwards take. If you've watched the Chiefs defense this year, everyone talks about how they're weak against the run, but where they're particularly weak is up the middle. And that's exactly where Gus Edwards likes to operate. They're better on the outside defending the run because they have speed at linebacker, but the problem is they're all small. So you hit them up the middle, you hit them with that inside zone, you hit them with that halfback dive, they're going to give up 4 or 5 yards a pop.
Here's something else that's interesting. Lamar's completion number right now is literally 19.5. And it's probably because last week he only had like 16, I think. But versus San Fran, he had 35 attempts, 23 completions. Now we're going to talk about elite, good teams. Houston, I'm not going to say they weren't good. It was just it got out of hand late. Sorry.
You okay, Lauren?
So versus San Fran, 35 attempts, 23 completions. Versus the Rams, and they went to this in overtime, 43 attempts, 24 completions. Versus Seattle, which they were beating the shit out of, 21. Detroit, 21. Tennessee was 21. Pittsburgh was 22. Detroit was also in overtime. Cincinnati, 24. When they're in close games, he goes over his completions. So 19.5. This game will be close for a little while. It should be. So I don't see how he doesn't get at least a 20 completions. I just don't.
Yeah. Any last words?
This is kind of a joke, but what's the over under on how many times we see Taylor Swift?
Probably 3.5, 4.
Please don't mention Taylor Swift. I'm not a big fan of her.
3.5.
Campbell, how do you feel about Taylor Swift in 5 words or less?
What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Okay, when I saw last week, I thought, why is Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift? Are they going to get married or something? That's my question. What do you guys think?
For publicity, dude, I feel like, honestly, I'll give my take on that. I feel like she's like if AI created a woman. I'm honestly to that point. I'm so past it. And I know Lauren's annoyed by Taylor Swift too. Like they say, oh, this is great for women viewers. Like I get it, it's good for teenage girls, but I don't know if women who watch football like that shit. So
I don't think anyone who watches football likes that.
Hey guys, can I make my prediction very quick?
Sure.
So, first game, this is gonna be close. I got the Chiefs 30, Ravens 24 in the first game. The second game is Detroit Niners game. I had Detroit pulling the upset. I have the Lions 40, Niners 35.
Bold.
40-35.
Yeah. Bold. What about you guys? What's your guys' prediction? Hey Mike, what is your prediction for Ravens Chiefs?
Ravens Chiefs, I'm gonna go.
Do you think it'll be close?
I do. I think it'll be a low scoring game. I definitely like the under.
Under 44?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily. I'm going to go 20-16 Ravens.
Happy Lawson.
24.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about for Lions Niners game? What do you guys think? What's your prediction for those?
Bro, I'm going 28-21, that half point cover. So
Do you guys have any thoughts on okay, do you guys have any thoughts on the Jets so far?
yeah, Campbell, we'll do an off-season show. Anyways, we gotta go. Thank you for coming on, Lauren. Thank you for coming on, Mike. Thank you for coming on, Campbell. Yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta go too. It was good talking to you. I hope to talk to you guys all on Sunday.
See you, Lauren. See you, Mike.
See you guys.
Thank you, Campbell.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Patreon bets will be up later tonight. Shout out, Mike. What's up? Campbell got on, man. His persistence.
Yeah, dude, I was trying to the whole time. I don't know.
I had to get him on one time this year, man.
Yeah, I know. I get bullied in the chat for some of my takes, and I do not want to see that happen to Campbell.
Oh, what, dude? The first time there was too many people watching. It was we're at 280 watching. So yeah, at least it was a quieter night. So
yeah, and dude, listen, you mentioned on the stream how you were gonna do an off-season videos. I'll tell you right now, if you want to make a video titled "Why the Carolina Panthers Are Screwed," I'm down to go 20, 25, 30 minutes with you on that one subject alone.
Oh yeah, we should do it. And I just have to find a way to get views with the algorithm for that stuff. But it's definitely worth it because get bored during the off season.
No, it does, man. Yeah, it's a long 6 months or whatever.
I'm a bit of a negative Nancy, and people don't like that during the off season. So
I mean, there's not much to do. I'm kind of with you, especially when your whole MO was betting spreads.
Pretty much. All right, Mike, I'll see you, man. Have a great one.
All right,
Patreon bets will be up around 9:30 Eastern time. We'll have soccer. Still thinking what I'm going to do in the NFL. Have a great night, everyone. Hit the like button, share the videos. Thank you for everyone who sent the regards. And no, don't bet the NFL. Just bet soccer and NFL. Have a great night, guys.